Hi. We pretty much all agree that Dark Souls 1 has the best level design out of any Souls game. One reason is the beautifully interconnected world. And in this video I not really, want to test it. Is it possible to acquire each according weapon type before every boss, or will we softlock ourselves in our own challenge? This and much more, not really, in today's run. Enjoy! The rules are the following. As mentioned before, we can only kill bosses with their corresponding weapon class. Note the word kill. This will be important in a bit. Some bosses do not use weapons, so sometimes we need to get a little bit creative. So for example, using their tail weapons weapon type should suffice. No summons, no major glitches and exploits are fine should we need them. All bosses, and fifth, the most important part, only a small percentage, please. And without further ado, let's slap some butt cheeks. I named this character after the gentleman who suggested this run. Who knows, maybe if you suggest a run, maybe I'll name this after you. Well, who knows? Before we even pick a class, we first have to make sure our starting weapon is the Great Hammer class, just as the first boss of the game, the Asylum Fairy. But you, Souls vets, probably know no starting class starts with the Great Hammer, so I just picked the Pyroschmancer. He's my favorite class to pick and already has the Pyromancy Flame. I don't know where to get the Pyromancy Flame, so he's my man. Our starting gift will be the Master Key, since it is very possible that we need to reach off-limit areas to progress our run, so I'll take any unseen aid I can get.
Oh fuck! Shit.
But how will we get past the Asylum Demon without the Great Hammer, you ask? Well, we don't, if we're pussies at least. This is where our first minor Baba Giga Chat glitch is being used. Glitch time! Glitch time! Luckily, we don't have to kill the Asylum Demon at all to get past him. There is a nifty glitch where, when the Asylum Demon is about to die, you log out, respawn, and the door leading outside will just open. But for that to work, we need to kill the Asylum Demon and log out before we smash our meat to the first gate, like the first encounter. And maybe, just maybe you see the problem. We only get a weapon after passing the gate. So I change my class to the Thief, who already has the Master Key, and choose Black Kaboom Bombs as a starting gift. There is just no way in hell that I'm managing this. As long as the Victory Achieved pop-up doesn't show up, we're not killing the boss, we're just keeping him.
In a never-ending spiral of life and death.
That's why at the beginning I noted we can only kill bosses with their weapon type only. We can still damage them, inflict pain. It didn't work the first time, but the second time is the best time. After reloading the game, we can progress as normal through Unalive Asylum, skip this guy's dialogue, I don't know what he wants from me. We let him die in agony, re-enter the boss through the top fog gate, and then magically the door opens. Just look at him go. He's so cute when he can't crush you into undead juice. This time our flying Uber actually accepted our ride. His name was Greg. He was nice. Say thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Greg.
Ignoring my urge to cry every time I hear Firelink music, I first digged out a few graves and stole their belongings. Sometimes desecration of corpses is really helpful. I got the almighty Zweihänder and this weird spear. If a boss uses one of these, we're set. After grave robbing tombs, I make my way to another more wet graveyard and snatched a Firekeeper soul. Giovanni Belzoni would be proud. Anyways, we make our way through the sewage and yeet this undead into oblivion. These ragdolls make this game so much better. The real reason why DS2 is the worst in the series. By the way, did you know that hollows can close doors? Of course they can open them, since in this encounter it is exactly what happens, but close them again? That's new. We pick up portable electricity and first try the Black Knight. I said we first try him. He actually dropped the Black Knight Greatsword. 20% drop rate, my ass. Now the first boss would be the Taurus Demon. He uses a Great Axe, but the earliest Great Axe we can get is in the depths past the Capra Demon. Luckily, with our Master Key we can unlock this door and reach Brightwood Garden earlier, completely skipping the Taurus Demon fight. Without our Master Key we would be hard stuck here. Step bro. We make our way into Brightwood Garden and reach Daddy Andre. This is the point where we actually can fight our first boss, the Bell Gargoyles. Everyone's favorite first boss. They use the halberd, and as if Miyazaki-senpai knew what challenge runners wanted, he deliberately planted a halberd right in front of the Undead Bird Chapel. Not only that, but also the key to the depths. What a man, a legend. You think he would adopt me? I didn't level up yet since I was unsure which stats I need for the halberd. 12 strength will suffice when two-handing since the halberd needs 15 strength. For fun, I tried ruining people's fun through grave lording. Note that I don't know shit about what it does, but at least I won by doing absolutely nothing. Making our way up the chat to the gargoyles, I epically ended this man's whole career and freed Lautrec, to later end another man's whole career. Reaching my sexual fantasies, the gargoyles are normally your third boss in the game and very easy. I am letting you in on a little secret. So my secret is, I kinda suck at this game, or rather at double bosses, no matter how simple they are. I am perfectly able to focus on one boss, but as soon as an immovable tree joins the fight, brain.exe stops working and you can see me freezing due to my brain being over-demanded and acting confused like a dumbass. Only took 5 tries to beat them. That's something. Enough to ring the first bell of awakening. At least he didn't die in shame. I can always count on Bell Kun. With the Bell gargoyles defeated, I unlocked the coolest shortcut in gaming history, enhanced my Estus by promoting cannibalism, and gently nudged Lautrec off the cliff. Right into hell, boy! I fancy forestalling his fateful frenzied flame extinguishment. I allow firekeepers molesting other firekeepers' souls, but even I have honor. Next, with the key to Enritate's OnlyFans, we make our beef jerky waddling way down to Ohio. And from experience I can tell you, you don't want to be in Ohio. Because, just look at this, I have abbreviated 8 and astounding astral 8 at the same time. Our next boss will be Quailak, the hot hoe, and if we look at her moveset, she has a curved sword. I like curves if you know what I mean. Luckily for us in Blighton we can easily pick up a Falchion, which is a curved sword. Yay! But with this damage we are only tickling Quailak's bottom and not smashing it, so we need to get stronger. To achieve pure masculinity, we try to make our way back to Firelink, almost found to the elevator shaft, and then we chat with Daddy Andre. With a few helpless souls I found previously, we buy a bunch of Titanite shards off him and let his stylish hammer do the rest. I wish he would hammer me instead though. He has a beautiful claymore. You think he's into short swords? To complete our training arc, I go back to Brightroot Garden and pick up the Grass Crest shields, since it is just polite to do so. And last, I pick the Red Tearstone ring. Wait, so you're telling me Red Bull does not give you wings?
I'm gonna be real. I didn't expect that to happen.
We're getting closer to beating her, but since I'm a really bright bulb, I almost never level up bigger. And Quailak can do a lot of damage. Way too quick. And because I really am not the brightest bulb bathing in barbecue, I messed up the recording settings for OBS for the next 2 bosses.
Hello guys, welcome to my Minecraft Let's Play. Today we are going to be mining for diamonds.
So let me give you a quick rundown. Quailak dies, we pick up the Great Club Bonk Bonk so that we can bonk bonk, and Power Within of course, because again it is just polite to do so. The Great Club is a great hammer, so we can finally go back to the demon of Bonk to teach him how to really bonk. At least I didn't die to the Asylum demon. Technically we could stray the Slay demon, but no, I'm sorry, not yet. But at least we get the Peculiar Doll, so that we can get sucked into a painting later. Next is Sen's Sex Dungeon with the Iron Slalom. Earlier we cut off the Gargoyle's tail to get their tail weapon, which is classified as an axe. And the bronze statue uses a normal axe as a weapon, so we're set. To reach the Iron Slalom we let Bowls yeet Snake Man and get freaking melted. After that humbling death, I decided to upgrade our tail axe, since tickling enemies is not a productive killing method. We still are too weak for Sen's dubious fortress, so I decided to bail and explore Lower Undead Berg instead. Luckily our earlier grave robbing turned out positive, since the Capra demon uses a ultra giga meta hyper great sword, according to the wiki. And with our Zweihänder in hand, we make our way to Capra-san. Yeah, the Zweihänder is a bonk weapon and thus slower than me in sports class trying to overtake a tree. And those dogs are not necessarily waiting for me to attack, so I'll come back later again. In shame, we free Griggs and purchase a simple magic buff. But I know a way just how to get much more stronger and chunkier. See, the dogs are only so strong since they stagger us, making us unable to attack in the first place. But with enough white man privilege, or poise, we can ignore the cute bitey bite and just monkey smash or sword into Capra-san. He's into that, believe me. But first we need armor with enough poise. Helvel's chunk rock armor is the most poise in the game, but it is hidden in Anor London, so it's off limits for us for now. But we can get Helvel's armor at home. The stone armor. Very creative FromSoft. To get it, I first slaughter multiple races to acquire enough money to buy the NFT of Artorias to propose to the Discord mods of Anor London, making us an admin so we can open the forest door. The armor is right around the corner. And with this monkey setup, we might as well let a cab run into Capra Demon. Next I decided to use my bonky bonk stick to bonk bonkia bonk, making me feel ready to enter the depths. Depths. Yes. In there we take big fire and become a bowling ball to free my pyro homie Laurentius. He's one of the only bros I'd have a bromance with. His hands are just so hot, he's burning. Going in deeper, I try to avoid the obvious slime trap, but still fail even though I've beaten this game 6 times. And I've fallen for this trap 6 times in total. We get poisoned and cursed in one hit. Luckily I brought a /undo stone earlier. See, I'm not dumb, just incompetent. After this incident, I actually was so scared of the basilisk that I unironically used fire bombs to progress. I usually never use consumables. Anyways, reaching the demon with big ass mouth, we cut his schlong and it magically converts to an axe. We bail immediately like it's time to get milk for my kids and then realize we are nowhere near close on wielding this pure boulder. It needs 50 strength.
Boom!
So we need 34 strength to wield it with both hands.
Quick maths!
But how do we get all these XP? See, XP is just an acronym. It stands for
execution points.
Oh, and I also remembered that we can kill Doggo. Sif uses his Dead Master's Greatsword, so I used our 20% drop rate boy against our good boy. And with his helpless soul, we finally have enough souls to kick some demon ass, am I right? The Taurus demon gets fucking one shot from a simple plunging attack. Like I knew this weapon was strong, but okay, I'm sorry. Guess I over-prepared a bit. Big ass mouth demon eats his own freaking anvil tail like kids eating fairy tales. This specific great axe has a strong attack that can hit multiple times and is completely broken. JK Leeds proved this by using this weapon in his melee one-shot video. And people say, Dark Souls needs an easy mode. Does this look hard? Anyways, we run like a champ back to Firelink, and instead of leveling up with Big Mouth's demon souls, I buy a magic boosting ring. This will be very important for later. And also I buy some spells. We talk to Hotboy and now I know where you can get the pyromancy flame from. Neat. There's only one possible boss left before Sun's Fortress, and it's the Moonlight Butterfly. But for some unknown reason I decided to tackle her later. Having no choice, we enter Sen's BDSM fantasy. The Iron Shlolem is very tanky, but you know the saying, work smart, not hard. So we yeet him off the cliff. Reaching Anor London, Uber HQ. We first try the infamous Chandelier section but die to Ledge, Demon of Heights. Reaching the next bonfire, we join the Parry God Covenant, where Patches apparently is also in, and gain the Ultra Parry Instinct. Ornweed and Smoke are one of the more special bosses. They use 2 different weapons, a spear and a great hammer, so we need both weapons in our beefy undead pouch. Our earlier grave robbing granted us access to a spear for Ornweed, and we reuse our bonky stick for Smoke. You probably know my incompetence regarding double bosses, and yeah, I suck bad. Really bad. Furthermore, Ornstein has the tendency to charge, stay still, and yeet into your face without hesitation. One of the few bad janky things in Dark Souls 1. Bed of Chaos doesn't exist, Bed of Chaos doesn't exist, Bed of Chaos doesn't exist. And hitting Schmo sometimes doesn't work since his bonk Skull Crusher hammer just repels our little stick. But at the same time there are these godsend pillars. Sticking to these is meta. Not only do they cockblock Smo's dash, but also ghost Ornstein's DMs. I opted to poke Ornstein with shield and spear, and then in phase 2 ironically execute Smo, the executioner. We praise amazing view ahead and try both hands to get the treasure that was in the amazing chest. The next boss is the Moonlight Butterfly. So we equip our magic boosting ring and equip simple spells to take it down quickly. We pick up the Divine Ember in preparation for the catacombs, everyone's favorite area. Divine weapons blessed by Big Booty and Ray make skeletons stay dead. We don't like spooky, scary, respawning skeletons. For that we need green titanite shards, and logically these green leeches drop 5 of them, when they feel like it at least. Anyway, we bless our bonk stick, making it a fine wooden weapon, with God's approval. Like an idiot, I first went the completely wrong way, but then managed to find the catacombs. Did you know you can see a bonfire through this hole? I only saw this due to an online message, like what the fuck. I always find something new when playing this game, it's insane. I tried to be cool and reach Vamos with a cool blind jump. Tried. We get kicked out as soon as we enter this room, my shortest relationship ever. We run past the Berserk references and face, let his name behold, Pinwheel. Pinwheel is the first boss that uses PK Fire, so I, a gentleman, grabbed the glove Hot Boiler Rantiers gave me and entered this fight. The only Pyromancy spell I have is the one you can get when you enter the Chaos Servant's Covenant. I actually thought that for the first time Pinwheel could be a problem, but no, even with just 4 casts by an unupgraded Pyro Glove, Pinwheel dies. But for this to work, we need to let Pinwheel rest in this lingering fireground stuff for him to take a few extra hits. Yeah, I know, advanced tactics. Making it actually possible to beat him with this non-existent setup. Moving onwards, I accidentally triggered Patch's cutscene without reaching the bonfire, so yeah, that's fortunate. But before progressing to Nito, wielder of my asthma, I wanted to kill Gwendolyn first. For that, we shoot the Godmother's image and trigger a feminist trying to prove that she needs no man. Yeah, right, get mansplained and give your soul fire, keeper. Which I did not use until way later in the run. Don't ask why, I just forgot I had it. And then we reach the only male feminist in Lordran. But our spells are a bit too weak for Gwynny Kun, so I decided to free Big Cock Logan so that we'll gain access to more based and stronger spells. Then, immediately forgetting about Gwendolyn, I tried to approach Destined Death. His Gravelord sword is a great curvy sword. Luckily you can scam him for his own weapon when you enter his arena, before you kill him, and then use his affiliate link. So we have his weapon now, but let me just play this attempt and maybe you'll see why I decided to come back later.
Fight! I'm about to end this man's whole career.
But I know someone who would kidnap me if I were a female maiden. The Duke's Archives, aka Seath the Maidenless, seems to be the next reasonable step that we can actually make. So back at not Anor London, we get hit and not hit at the same time and fights, what's his name again? I saw some Hawkshaw videos, so I think I must know him, but I can't remember. After getting kidnapped by Seath the Desperate, we go in jail for leaking Andrew Tate's OnlyFans and his Tate army attacks. On guard! Seath uses laser magic, but also has a tail weapon, which is a greatsword. So to play it safe, I attacked him with my 20% drop rate Black Knight greatsword and finished him off with magic. He wasn't so desperate after that experience, let me tell you that. Our magic did almost no damage to him and I was very close to dying, as you can see. Am I the only one, or does Seath's theme kinda slap? One OnlyFans soul secured, 3 to go. Next, I made my beefy ass into submarine territory, completed the whole journey only to realize that I forgot to talk to the Plague Doctor. I just knew it was too easy this time around. Something had to go wrong, of course. So, speaking to this guy whose name I forgot, stealing the key to the floodgates, we free the water, revealing Old York. Furthermore, a citizen from Old York stalked me with a child in hand, only to taste me a couple of times when she saw my face up front. The 4 kings have a cut content boss weapon, which is classified as an ultra great sword. So we use Big Z right here. I'm kind of sad their weapon isn't obtainable since it actually looks really cool. The 4 kings are very easy if you get 20 Estes, Havels Gear and Big Z. Just press attacks and the 4 kings turn into 4 corpses. With their crypto business hidden in the abyss hijacked, we have enough soul coins to buy all attacking spells from Gregory Van Griggs to take our revenge on feminism. With our new shooting stars that do way more damage than I have anticipated, Gwendolyn finally submits and we grab the objectively best looking armor in Soul's history. The brass set. I came just thinking about this sculpture of art. To properly wear it without having endurance at level 99, we visit Havelnut and he gladly let me borrow his ring. Only had to wipe the blood off it. Havel is the scariest enemy to parry, I always shit myself every time he raises his sword. I furthermore got the armor for Nito. The only thing that makes Nito a hard fight are these skeletons that always respawn. They have a tendency to just stagger your ass into oblivion. But with armor and poise and a holy weapon, we can easily tank their hits and turn them into bone meal. But to fight Nito himself, we of course must use a great curved sword. To be honest, I did not know this weapon type existed in Dark Souls 1. I always thought it was a new addition in Elden Ring. I never found it, or rather noticed, a great curved sword, which is a paradoxical weapon. Like if you want to be fast and slow at the same time, a bit weird, but okay. The only areas we still haven't been to in the base game are Lost Izalith and the Painted World. To prepare myself for Lost Izalith, I gave 30 humanity to Quella's sister to get Chaos Storm, one of the most powerful pyromancers in the game. But sadly, I never came to use it, and you'll see now why in a minute. The next boss is Ceaseless Discharge. He discharges a lot of hot stuff when we steal his sister's robes. Think about it. Fighting Ceaseless Discharge with Pyromancy seems like the logical step, but he's immune to it. Ceaseless may not be only spitting the latest chili sauce, but he also likes to punch your guts out. You know who also can use fists? Us. So defeating him with bare fists like he does is valid. There is a cheese where if you run back to the fog wall, he may jump over to the fog wall and thus hangs over a cliff. It is way too inconsistent to pull this one off. There may be a better, more consistent way, but I don't know, this just either works or it doesn't. But eventually getting him to jump, he wanna wear his sister's clothes so hard he's willing to jump towards us, even if it means falling to his death. After nudging a bit at his hand, smashing our meat against his, he finally falls down. So no hot chili glove kill possible, only beef versus meat. After Ceaseless Discharge, we meet Totally Not Stray Demon. To add a little bit of variety, I thought would be fitting to burn just like he does and end him with Pyromancy. And right after the Ephirem Demon, we immediately have to fight another demon. Centipede Demon is just like Ceaseless, immune to fire. I mean, he lives in fucking lava. An alternative would be to beat him up bare fist, but he really likes to stay back like every zoner in Smash and throw punches from a distance while we are not able to get him since lava. Beating him up with fists is possible but not realistic. But what if we again let gravity do the work? If we stay at this corner and let him grab us, he somehow would just fall out of bounds into the abyss. Gravity is completely valid since it involves no weapons being used, and Centipede Demon doesn't seem to be wielding Big Z, so bye bye. I do not feel any shame in this, he deserves it. Such a shitty boss, I'ma be honest. But there's one boss even worse than he is. In the center of Mount Aldine, we have a woman. The pinnacle in game design and the hottest of all bosses. She just be swinging hands using gravity, our own weapon, against us. Luckily I smashed the two parasites on my first try. One gets punched and the other one gets burned, but the last one, oh boy. I died a lot of times because of her nifty hands. Guess she's getting the hands she deserved at the end. One thing I observed is that the two parasites are not immune to fire damage, but the main parasite is. Get your lore books out, guys, this definitely means that women are parasites. The last boss in the base game is Beta Friede. She uses a scythe, the edgiest of the weapons. We can grave rob it from the catacombs, going this way, and there it is. Isn't she cute? We used the dead baby doll we got earlier when revisiting the Undead Asylum. Did you ever picture yourself getting into the Painted World at night? Get it? Picture, please don't go. The Great Scythe is actually a good weapon with high reach. I always found these Isaac enemies to be very annoying since they just explode on death and immediately toxic you. But with this reach we can space our attacks to not get toxin. Nice. Anyways, we twist a statue that definitely did not get reused in Dark Souls 3 and challenge Priscilla. I really like the design of her and the fact that she's a boss that's sane and not attacking you without reason. I'm just sad she only has 3 attacks and it's just a complete joke. Sad to see. But siphoning her helpless poor soul, we can now progress to the DLC, shall we, boys? A quick intermission on how to get to the DLC. I still am dumbfounded on how anyone figured this out. The Sanctuary Guardian now is actually a boss worth talking about. He actually moves, he flies a lot, shoots bolts and loves to poison you in one hit. His tail weapon is a whip. Miracles probably fit the boss more, but I never got the chance to slap a sentient Pegasus demon with a freaking whip, so I'll do it. Still counts though for me. It's the creative aspect I mentioned in the intro. I found out just rolling backwards always works pretty much for every attack. The whip has not the highest reach, but scarring your enemies is more personal up close. After a few attempts, the sanctuary turns into a cemetery and we can progress to Ulasil, where we meet my favorite boss in Dark Souls 1 until 3. Artorias of the Abyss, boys! We use a greatsword for him for obvious reasons, and this fight is just pure gold. You can perfectly fight him with 4-way rolling. For fun, I hitlist him with mid-rolls 1 year ago, so he doesn't turn out to be the highest challenge, but he definitely was on my first time. He could dominate me every day. Next, we get this fairly well-hidden key and talk to Hawkeye Goth, who ironically is blind. You don't need eyesight to hear his perfectly manly voice. Just look at his muscles and his precision. Like every good dragon, Calamite has a tail weapon, which again is a great sword. Again, lots of high inches here. 20% drop rate bow is just the way to go. The prize for the coolest attack to get hit by in Soul's history goes to Calamite's telekinesis magic, but also not magic, levitate attack. I never get mad when this attack hits me. And soon enough, Calamite meets my meat. The second last boss is Manus, and this is where we need to put all of our magic spells into use. At first I didn't have enough spell slots to mush in all of the magic needed for Manus to fall. So we need stats, a lot of them. Enough to get +6 magic slots. In Dark Souls 1, when you reach level 60 and above, you rarely get a chance to level up, since every level up costs over 10k souls, minimum. But there is one very helpful glitch/exploit, the Souls dupe. I won't explain how it works or why, but I'll link a video addressing it. With attunement at level 34, we have enough slots to put in all of the magic that matters, and more. If I were not to use this glitch, I would need to grind for 10+ hours and this video would just never come out, so yeah, Souls dupe. For Manus, we need the highest damaging spells, which are mainly Dark Beat, which you pick up at the entrance of the Abyss, Soul Spear and the heavy soul arrows. We need to use the magic buff ring and maximize power within to get a chance at defeating Manus. The magic ring boosts spells by 20% and power within boosts every attack by 40%. Manus has a lot of HP and is rather chunky. So in the beginning of the fight I cast Power Within and then just start farting him with my strongest spells without caring about getting hit, because we only have 100 seconds to maximize our damage. First we cast Dark Beat, which is strongest up close, and then Soul Spear. The rest of the fight I focus on not dying and casting as many spells as possible, making Manus seem like a maniac and making him fall once and for all. And last but not least, there is one boss who we yet have to defeat. Gwyn, Lord of Cinder, who broke me so hard on my first playthrough, I made a 40+ minutes analysis on his theme alone. Gwyn uses the base greatsword again, and he doesn't stand a chance. Just parry him 6 times and the Lord of Cinder burns into the atmosphere. I find his death animation to be really tragic and it always pains me to kill him, but with his end, the challenge is complete. So yes, you can totally beat Dark Souls with using the same weapon class bosses use. But this is only possible due to Dark Souls 1's interconnectivity, making it possible to reach areas in every order you want. Dark Souls 1 essentially is an open world game without having an open world. This is genius, but not as genius as you watching. Yes, you right there watching this entire video. I thank you very much for watching and see you very soon with another video. Take care and don't you dare go hollow.